Hey guys, it's the Plague Wind here, and this is the next saga to our mission of the Vesper campaign. So as you can see, we are now in the tunnels, and Maravis has dug in along with Ramil and the sisters, trying to find a way of escape. So during the conversation, Maravis speaks with Ramil about getting aid and getting out of here. And Ramil replies and tells him that they can receive aid from the Dark Angels, and that they would send members of the Death Wing to aid them in their escape. And so Maravis sees this and says, yes, we need help as soon as possible to get up out of here. And the sergeant here had a homing device. Said we can tune into this signal to have assistance from the Death Wing to come aid us. So how can we get out of here? Asks Maravis. Ramil then replies, each member of the Death Wing have their own homing device so that they can teleport off the planet and back into the ships. And they can take at least 3 members of us per member of the Death Wing. That sounds good. And what about the chair? What about the seat of power? Well, when the seat is taken, only 1 member can be taken with that. Maravis nods and understands the situation. He said, that's fine. So now, let's prepare. We need to leave here as soon as possible. We know the Chaos Forces are going to be coming after us, and we need to get this seat out of here as soon as possible. Ramil then brings him to his homing beacon, calls in and talks to Bilal himself, and after the communication is over, he turns to Maravis and said, we've established a comm link. Teleport will actually be able to beam into our site. It is a little bit iffy because the comms are not perfect, but we can bring down members down, but we have to be cautious. We have already warned them of the risk. Beaming them down is treacherous, and we could lose lives. However, this mission is great. We have to get that seat off this planet. Agreed, said Maravis. Commander Kane was able to enter into the dark tunnels of the Valley of the Dry Bones and commenced to talking to Lord Dreed. We have proceeded into the tunnels, and as you informed us, only a small unit of troops could actually be able to enter. However, I do have my homing device, and we're able to request for assistance from the first company. Excellent, says Lord Dreed. I will be focused on your signal, but understand the treacherous results that are down there. Fear not. We will be sending you assistance to capture those traitors or to kill them at your leisure. But get me that chair no matter what you have to do, any means necessary, bring me that chair. And also bring me Maravis's head. Kane listens, nods in agreement, and proceeds with the mission. Okay guys, this is going to be the start of the mission, the actual playing of the mission. So there's a couple rules you have to know. So each side is going to receive assistance from terminators, and because they're under the tunnels, the terminator is going to have to deep strike, but they can deep strike on turn 1. However, there's a couple of other rules that we put in place. So one of the first rules is that the scatter is only 1d6 if they deep strike 6 inches away from the person with the homing device. So on this side, Kane has a homing device, and on the other side for the loyalists, we have a sergeant here with a homing device. So that's one of the first rules. Another rule is that because they're under the tunnels and it's so hard to maneuver, we're going under the old rules of slow and purposeful. So it needs 2d6 for you to actually move and stuff. And also there is no running. That only applies to people in Terminator armor. The others can move as normal. The third thing is all of the weapons have been reduced by half. So we're saying because it's in tunnels and in tight areas, you can only shoot to a certain limit. So the range, whatever the weapon you have, the distance will be cut in half. So bolters will literally be at 12 inches. Pistols will also be at 12. They'll stay their normal. They're the only ones who at their normal range. But everything else, 12 inches, no further. And that's pretty much it. Oh, also there is another rule that we thought would be pretty crazy. Is if a person shoots and they miss, if they shoot and miss, that bullet has a chance of wounding you. So on a roll of a 6, it will actually wound somebody, and the person who had shot the bullet, on a 4 through 6, person who actually shot would get wounded. The ricochet would hit back. On a 1 through 3, the person who they actually shot at would get wounded, and they would get their normal save as normal. Okay, so that's just another twist into the game. Stand by. Turn 1 coming up. Place has been set up. It's ready to rock. Hey guys, that was the end of turn 1. And on the turn 1, the loyalist was able to have 5 terminators who were able to deep strike. And because they did their normal deep strike within 6 of it, no one actually ran into a building, had to dig their saves or anything. And it was surprisingly, they did deep strike pretty well in very strategic spots. And then they stood there as protection for the relic. Now, one thing I forgot, I think, to mention at the beginning of the mission. Here is the seat of power. Now, the terminators have to be within a certain distance after turn 2. So they couldn't have moved in to take it off planet from turn 1. So turn 2, they can actually move in and protect the relic. And once they're within close range of it, they can actually deep strike, if they're not contested, deep strike from their location and take the seat out. But if there's another enemy that is close by, they cannot deep strike out and are contested. So they have to fight their way off planet. Okay? For the chaos side, they would have to do the same thing. They have to be control the relic without being contested. And then if they control it for a full turn, they can now deep strike off planet. Okay? So here we are, and we use the old deep strike rules. We need a 4 up instead of the 3, and it'll be like that all the way through. So as you can see what happened. So now let's get back into what actually happened on this mission, turn 1. They were able to deep strike in and set up strategically, but then the chaos guys then deep striked in, and they had to do 2d6 to get close enough because they didn't want the loyalists to be able to get close enough to that relic on turn 2. And as you can see, here we use a commie melter, and this commie melter here was able to kill this terminator. And then this terminator here was also was shot up by the terminator here. It killed him. And the terminator in the back from the Nurgle side took a shot at the Dark Angels Marine here, but he made his save. And the rest of the guys here took a safer approach. You can see how the infiltration team moved up. But before they moved up, they deep strike 3 of their brethren down, and they able to move a little bit forward. So that was a pretty interesting turn 1. Here comes turn 2 coming at you.